Well, the Amanfo are here with us in the studio, the 1998 batch of Prempeh College. They are celebrating 25 years, of course, after leaving school, and they're going to be telling us about their planned activities to mark this very special day. Joining us in the studio, Basanio Kwame Jibi. He's a member of the 1998 year group. We also have Richard Fosumenu, member as well of the 1998 year group. Richard, Basanio, good morning.
Good morning, Ben. Thanks for having us.
I like this. Is this from way back, or is it something that you got in recent years?
Recent years, when we were organizing the Amanfo Global Festival, we decided to do something very unique. To help promote domestication.
That's good. You know, this reminds me of something we had from way back during my time. There's this long-sleeved thing that we had. I've kept it. I found it somewhere someday, and I kept it all the way from...
Nostalgia.
Nostalgia. I kept it.
I still have my uniform still back there, and it fits me.
You still have your uniform?
Yeah.
I'll wear it tomorrow when I'm going home.
No, but that's quite a surprise.
It's there. I wore it on the 20th anniversary, and I'll wear it.
Is it because it was oversized back then and you fit in it?
It was oversized, and I've not changed that much.
You've not changed that much. Anyway, I think it's only fitting to call them my seniors because they are my seniors by a little bit. So, seniors, welcome on the show. But tell us about, it's been 25 years since you left Prempeh.
Yep.
What would you say Prempeh has done for you in terms of shaping you into the people you have become now? I'll start with you, Basani.
Sure, and as you rightly indicated, 25 years is quite a long time. And for me, I mean, the motto itself resonates more. Subaini Nimdia. The Nimdia is a given. I mean, we had some of the best teachers you can have when we were on campus. So the knowledge bit was there. But the Subaini bit is what is also very interesting in the sense that if you look at it as a Christian, because of the strong Methodist and Presbyterian foundations, church services and all were there. The scripture union was on campus, so you get to build your spiritual aspect. Of course, our Muslim friends too had their own services. Yeah. And then there was a discipline bit. Whoever went through Prempeh College will remember the former senior house master, O Square. When you're on campus...
So what did you call him?
O Square. Was more of a disciplinarian who makes sure you do the right thing at the right time. at the right time. So if you are there, you hit him. But when you step out, you realize that all the things that he was teaching you come with your cutlery. We're eating kenke and soup with fork and knife. It was so much hectic, but it was a way of grooming us. Saturday inspections, you have to dress well, lay your bed, stand by it, make sure. So all those things have made us who we are now. And forever, we are grateful to the institution for that opportunity.
Richard, for you, I mean, what would you say Prempeh has done for you?
Basa has said that,
in your life?
And I was just telling him whilst we were waiting to come in studio that I remember we used to do marathons, right?
Were you an athlete?
Farm. Yeah, I played hockey.
Okay.
Right? And many times we had to do the marathon, we actually tried to hide, skip. But today, 25 years on, you yourself, you get up on Saturday morning and you are running. You yourself on Saturday morning, you are going to meet the boys to play football. Yeah. Because you notice that what they were trying to teach you 25 years ago is relevant today. Yeah. And so for us, the college has been very beneficial and very impactful for us.
And it's interesting sometimes, especially as I can see you were in the boarding house, so was I. We rebel against some of the things, but as you age, you realize that, okay, these things actually, they aren't so bad after all. In fact, they are pretty good for us and for our upbringing. We'll leave the disco weeding days out there. Those days you were weeding at dawn weeding, amidst scorpions and snakes and everything.
The story to determine how far you should be weeding up to.
And I don't know whether you had the encounters with crabgrass. You know how crabgrass, there's another name for it. And if they gave you even a portion this small and threw it, by the time, and it rains, sometimes it could rain on the hockey pitch, which is where you would find that. By the time you got to this part, you weed for the entire
you weed for a lifetime.
But tell us, so Prempeh College, you call yourselves Amanfo. What makes the difference, really, when it comes to your school versus all the other institutions at that level? What makes you unique? I'll start with you, Richard, this time.
Thanks, Ben. In fact, even our founding, right, our very beginnings tells a unique story.
Right.
We are one of the very first schools in the middle to northern belt of the country, right? And the school was founded by the then Asante King, the Methodist and the Presbyterian. I don't think you find any unique school like that or college like that, like we call ourselves in the country, right? We call ourselves the King's College because guess what? We belong to the Asante Kingdom. That's how come you see the crest or the stool, the golden stool as part of our crest. So the school itself belongs to what? Asante man. That I don't know of a school in Ghana today that belongs to a traditional, kingdom like that. That's in itself unique. And the fact that we have the Presbyterian and the Methodist heritage also helps us to what? Have a fine balance. So we are doing a bit of tradition here, but of course, we understand that what religion molds us to become better people. So that set of unique identity sets us apart from all the other schools that we have in the country.
I see. Do you have any words to add?
Yeah, I mean, what you said is right. All the other schools, I'm tempted to say is the best. But just so we don't create any confusion next time. I won't say it, but if I've said it already.
It's interesting at this level. When my old school comes here, Bishop Herman, they'll claim to be the best. Akraka will come here and say they are the best. Pope John will come here and say they are the best. Thomas Aquinas will come here and say they are the best. Recently, I had Mfansipim come through. They say they are the best. The Presecans will come and say, because of NSMQ,
it makes it better.
But I think it's good. This healthy competition among schools, like you rightly said, on the educational front, I mean, the religious, I should say, the religious groupings have had quite an impact on education, and across the board, from the Wesleyans to the Methodists to the Catholics to the Presbyterians, and I think it's something that just helps us to drive. It's like a zero-messy relationship. You score 3, I want to score 3 or more, so it just gingers us up. Yeah. But 25 years on, you're celebrating this in grand style. I'll start with you, Bassanio. Tell us a bit more about what you have planned for this period as you mark this celebration.
Okay, so about 5 years ago, we had the 20th anniversary. That was the time the institution were having challenges with water. So we went there and did a borehole and connected about 5 of the houses to it. So 25 years on, we set out to what else can we do to make sure that at least that we add some value to the institution. And that's what came up with the nurses' quarters. Because when we were there, if you have an emergency in the evening, it was difficult to get somebody to come and attend. So the idea is, let's put up a nurses' bungalow. If you have a permanent resident nurse on campus, if there's any emergency, there will be somebody else to even come in to assist. So that's what gave rise to it. So beyond the fact that we are going back to school, we have the bungalow that we want to donate to the institution as a token of our appreciation.
Oh, wow.
So
you can have permanent, this is not an infirmary, it's an entire setup where the nurses can be. And no matter the medical emergency, you can actually go
infirmary
and get
to assist. Sure.
That's a beautiful edifice. That's a very beautiful edifice. And, well, we can only congratulate you on this gesture. Can you tell us more about, of course, you're going to have the commissioning of this.
Certainly. So the commissioning of the bungalow would obviously be the climax of the whole anniversary. But from today, seniors are actually heading towards Kumasi, right? And we'll begin the program officially tomorrow, where seniors will gather in the morning.
And by the way, for those of you who don't understand, they call themselves Amanfo. They also call themselves seniors. Yeah. And the Opokuwari people will have something to say about that. But
they're in school. They don't deserve to part of the conversation. But most importantly, right, would be meeting ourselves tomorrow morning to catch up. I mean, for me, I've not seen some of my colleagues 25 years ago since we left. So it will be a good time to do that catching up. And boys will be meeting at a place we call venue NW9 at Nshayesu between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. from tomorrow. And then the evening, we'd have the anniversary lecture at the school auditorium. And this lecture will be given under the theme, High School Education, Reforms in Ghana, the role of the Old Student Association. Of course, we understand that we play a significant role. And so we need to bring that to the fore. And the guest speaker for that occasion would be Senior Dr. Kwame Bempatando, who is the Deputy Director General for the Ghana Education Service in charge of quality and access. Beyond that, on Saturday morning, I mean, we have to go back and visit the school field. For those of us who played hockey, maybe try a skill or two, but we'll be having games just to, again, connect again. So football, indoor games. and the likes, and would invite all seniors in and around Kumasi and even the other schools to pass through.
Does it include Opokuwari?
The other schools.
The other schools.
Including the one you mentioned. And then in the afternoon of the Saturday would be when we actually inaugurate the bungalow that we are donating to the school.
Right.
And after all that hard work, we need to wind down. So in the evening, we would have a small dinner party at King's Towers Hotel in Atahinsen. And of course, that is also manned by Ramanfo, right? And then on Sunday, because of the upbringing we got from the college, we have a lot of reverend ministers, pastors, prophets amongst us. So we'd go back to campus and go and organize a Thanksgiving service. And then say thank you to God for how far He's brought us. 25 years, it's quite a lot. He's been faithful to us. Thank Him, and then after that, seniors would depart to their various locations. So in a sense, that's what...
Well, it's quite a program, with the highlight, of course, being the commissioning of this new bungalow for the nurses. I'm curious, though, it just may have skipped me. What is your girls' school, Basanio? Do you have one?
Yes, we do.
Which is it?
It's Yasantua.
Yasantua Girls.
But prior to that was Monica's. But there's Adishare.
You've had a concubinage and marriage.
Interestingly, my wife is from Semonica, so I belong to the Mamuchi club, which is in the door. But the main one is the Amana Adishare, Yasantua. So they'll be presenting as well.
Right. I was just going to ask, in all of this talk, I hadn't heard anything about your girls. That's why I was getting a bit curious.
We were there on theirs 2 weeks ago. So definitely they are also visiting us.
They're also going to feature.
Or they'll be there.
To spice it up.
Exactly.
It's important.
All right. Any final words, gentlemen, right before you take leave of us?
Yes, we want to express our appreciation to the entire Amanfo fraternity, especially in the 98-year group. Whoever has donated or contributed even a cedi towards this, we are very grateful to them. We can also talk for some sponsors that we've got along the line. Stanbic Bank gave us some cash donation. CBS Supreme Industries assisted with a hefty discount for the roofing. Okay. We've had support from other institutions for the paraphernalia that we printed. And then the 99-year group, plus Latex Foam and W Consult donated 2 mattresses, which we are going to put in the bedrooms as well. And also call on the many who are around to come to the aid, not only of the institution, but any other institution that you attended. Before we came in, I overheard you discussing the placements. I'm sure by Monday, we'll have a conversation on the space allocations for the students as they are going. So in as much as with the free education, we need all to come to the table, support in one way or the other to ensure that our students or our children or our wards who are going there are comfortable and also be able to enjoy from what we left off.
All right. So interesting developments. And it's just because you've gone down the road of talking about the school placement system and all of that, it's created, it has had its own challenges, so to speak. One of those is what you've made mention of in terms of accommodation, because, I mean, Presec, for example, I am told sometime back they had about 400 plus students. Now they have thousands of those students. And this is replicated across the length and breadth of the country. But what are the plans? I mean, what do you know so far in terms of this expansion and being able to meet the demand? Because every year you realize that there are top quality students, but there's simply no space to absorb all of them. I mean, what ideas do you have which you think maybe could be brought forward? The educationists are also watching. Okay.
Great. I mean, that's why the role of the old students are always important, right? Because realize that the old students are resourceful. Yeah. Not just in terms of cash, but in terms of the
sometimes it's the skill
and the expertise. So, for example, for our bungalow that we are donating, it was actually supervised by an Amanfo 98, who's a building contractor.
Okay. I was about to say architects.
Exactly.
Yes, all of them in there.
So when the schools tap into these old students, obviously the ideas we generate, the funding that we can help raise would help in putting up some of these infrastructures. For example, when we were in school, we had how many houses? About 6, but today there's 10, right? So the old students will continue to support the government, because for us, the schools shaped us. It made us who we are today. So there's no way we'd ever shirk that responsibility. It's just that we need to continue having the conversations with all the relevant stakeholders so that collectively we can give off the best possible things we can for the schools that shaped us into who we are.
And Ben, on the day schools that were put up earlier, which are a bit far off from the localities, I think it's about time, it doesn't matter which government is in office, puts up residential accommodation to, augment those administration blocks that are there already. So that at least if people are posted there, if you are far off and you complain about there, I heard you talking about people being placed far off, at least there will be residential to accompany the academic blocks that are there. I think that will go a long way to also make sure that institutions are well.
That's a brilliant suggestion you have there, because like we said today, there are those who, through no fault of theirs, are placed in day institutions, but the distance, it's not possible to cover such a distance every day, and so that would help accommodate some of those people. But we're grateful for your time. Thank you so much for joining the conversation, Richard and Bassanio Kwame Jebi and Richard Ofosumenu, both of the 1998 year group. It's all about Amanfo, the seniors. 25 years on, they're helping to actually aid their alma mater with this Nurses Bangalore and the activities they've planned. If you remember, of course, they would want to see you there in the course of this week. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much for having us.
We'll be back to talk about Alumni Connect, and I'm an alumnus, proud one of the University of Ghana, and we are connecting. Oh, I see them also. Oh, we are all members. Okay, so this one, in this club, I'm a member. All of you are members. I see. All right. So we'll be connecting. That is indeed. We'll be telling you more about the program of activities up next on the AM Show.